In the heart of Gloomfin, a town was held captive not by chains, but by a sorrow so profound it had become a physical presence. A magical, perpetual mist, thick with unspoken grief, coiled through the streets and clung to the gabled roofs. The people of Gloomfin moved like phantoms, their steps heavy, each one trailed by a spectral shadow, a shimmering, phantom-like echo of their deepest despair. These shadow doubles were constant companions, a visible weight upon every soul. From the warm haven of her bakery, Anya often watched the town's slow, mournful procession. Her gaze fell upon Kale, a young man whose spirit seemed almost entirely consumed. He walked with his head bowed, his shadow double clinging to his shoulders like a suffocating shroud, its form darker and more oppressive than any other. Anya's heart ached for him and for all of Gloomfin. One bleak afternoon, while cleaning a long-forgotten corner of her bakery, Anya's fingers brushed against the spine of an ancient book. It was a cookbook, its leather cover bound by a faint, magical seal that shimmered and broke at her touch. As she opened it, the pages fluttered on their own accord, settling on a recipe unlike any she had ever seen: hearthlight bread. The ingredients were simple, but the instructions spoke of intent and emotion. Driven by a desperate spark of hope, Anya gathered the ingredients and began to bake. As the bread rose in the oven, it wasn't just the familiar, comforting scent of baking that filled her small shop. A tangible golden mist, smelling of warm grain, honey, and a forgotten sunrise, began to pour from her chimney. The luminous vapor drifted through the sorrowful air, a single thread of gold weaving its way directly towards Kale. As the mist enveloped him, his oppressive shadow double flickered violently and receded, shrinking more than any other shadow in the town. For the first time in years, Kale lifted his head, a glimmer of light returning to his eyes as he looked towards the source of the warmth, Anya's bakery. The sudden intrusion of hope did not go unnoticed. As Anya pulled the glowing loaf from the oven, the air in her bakery grew unnaturally cold. A figure of pure shadow and despair manifested before her, the sorrow white, the ancient entity that fed on the town's grief. "Cease this foolishness," it hissed, its voice like grinding stones. "Their sorrow is mine." The creature vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind a chilling silence and a lingering scent of decay. Anya was shaken, but a newfound defiance burned within her. The fear was real, but so was the flicker of hope she had just witnessed in Kale's eyes. Moments later, a knock came at her door. It was Kale, his face still pale, but his posture straighter, his eyes clearer. He had felt the bread's magic, a warmth that had reached a part of him he thought was long dead. He offered her his help, his strength, and his voice. Together, they would not hide this light, they would share it. They would announce a festival of embers. On the day of the festival, as townsfolk gathered, drawn by curiosity and a nascent hope, the sorrow white attacked. It rose from the town square, a vortex of despair, and unleashed a concentrated wave of absolute misery directly at Anya. Just as the crushing force was about to hit her, Kale threw himself in front of her, creating a shield with his own body. The despair slammed into him, and he cried out, faltering to one knee. Yet his sacrifice bought Anya the precious moment she needed. With tears of gratitude and fierce determination in her eyes, Anya slammed her hands into a large trough of dough, pouring every ounce of her hope, her love for her town, and her defiant spirit into it. The dough didn't just rise. It erupted in a silent, blinding wave of pure golden light. The light flooded every street and alley of Gloomfin, a cleansing tide that dissolved the sorrowful mist and vaporized every lingering shadow. The sorrow white let out a final, piercing shriek as the light consumed it, leaving nothing behind. Anya rushed to Kale's side, helping him to his feet. As the last of the golden light faded, they stood together with the rest of the townsfolk, watching the first true, unobstructed sunrise Gloomfin had seen in centuries paint the sky in hues of promise and new beginnings.